Seesaw Studios uses art to teach life lessons and show kids they can be anything they want to be. I went to Seesaw to see how these kids interact with one another and use art to tell their life stories.
A professional artist.
A musician.
Screen printing. Fashion design. Yeah.
Welcome to Seesaw Studios, where the possibilities are endless and the dreams are as fresh as the paint. This studio allows students to make their artistic visions a reality. Just check out what these kids have to offer. Posters, pillows, their own t-shirt designs. There's just no telling where their creativity draws the line. For these students, art comes in many forms.
We learn about the artist struggle, early.
Many of the students come from low-income families, so Seesaw Studio provides a safe and affordable place for them to express themselves. But Executive Director Pat Hoffman says the studio is more than just a creative outlet for them.
Learning skills to develop careers and handle themselves professionally in the real world, so that they have more preparation than they ever would have got just going to school.
Student Julia Sue can already see positive changes in herself.
I'm very self-conscious about letting my voice be heard, and Seesaw is helping me sort of come out of that little shell and stop being as shy as I am.
And she's not alone. The students aren't keeping their feelings about the program bottled up. So what does Seesaw give them?
Confidence.
It's a safe environment.
It's just fun. I like the people and everything we work on.
I can express myself.
Well, it seems that the writing, or rather the drawing, is on the wall. You can see the banners the students made in West Village in Durham. In the studio, I'm Janelle Henry, Carolina Week. Meet Eve Marie Carson and Caroline Spencer. Both girls are UNC juniors, political science majors, and both want to become UNC's next student body president. Both candidates hit the campaign trail to get UNC students united for change. But Carson and Spencer have different visions about how to improve UNC. Carson plans to create more wireless zones for computers, more access to printer stations, and an enhanced student central that will make it easier for students to sign up for classes.
It'll help them have a better academic experience. It'll help them become more familiar with the technology that they may be dealing with after college.
Like Carson, Spencer also wants to improve students' college experience with more focus on community. Spencer hopes working with renowned alumni such as Michael Jordan and James Taylor will get students excited about a unique UNC experience.
It would be neat to bring figures from the life of our university that have graduated and are famous graduates to come back to the university and speak for us and to celebrate our university.
Spencer also hopes to have more of a say in tuition increases. This would mean more than just making increases predictable.
It also means that we have a more diverse population on campus or we want to keep that diversity, because if we keep raising tuition to where students can't afford to be here that are from different backgrounds, then it hurts the university as a whole.
Although Spencer and Carson have different visions for UNC, there's one that they definitely have in common: their love for Carolina.
I love this university and I feel lucky every day to be here.
It's somewhere that I think that we all have added to, and we are what makes Carolina great.
And that's something we can all agree about. In Chapel Hill, I'm Janelle Henry, Carolina Week. Jessica, there are more than 100 rides, each with scores of moving parts. Each of those parts has to pass a rigorous inspection before you and I can get on the rides. It's the event that everyone's been talking about. Forget about Halloween. October means it's time for the state fair. The rides are in full swing. But it takes a lot of work before these rides are open to the public. 1 week before the fair opens, this heap of metal must become a ride. And every year, the North Carolina Labor Department works non-stop to make sure that happens. But putting together the rides is only half of the job. All rides must pass inspection before anyone is allowed to ride them. Labor Commissioner Cherie Berry says rides undergo many intense tests during the inspection.
We do non-destructive tests. We have good equipment to check for stresses on all the metal on the rides, and if we find anything, you know, we have it reworked, re-welded, and then checked again.
Some rides, like this one, pass the inspections the first time with flying colors. Other rides, like this one, don't. So workers spend many hours correcting the problem the day before the fair opens. No worries, though. Barry says that most of the rides are ready by the time the fair opens, thanks to what she calls an exceptional inspection team.
We have in North Carolina the best inspection program in the country. Other states try to emulate what we've done, and our inspectors are thoroughly trained in what to look for.
Inspector Jonathan Brooks couldn't agree more.
As long as it's got a sticker on it from the North Carolina Department of Labor, I put my children on it at any time, any place, anywhere that the ride's set up.
There's been only one case of a ride that got stuck since the fair started. The generator on the Turbo Force stopped running, and workers had to hand crank the riders back down to the ground.
Janelle, what makes North Carolina's inspection program the best in the country?
North Carolina is the only state to adhere to the 100% inspection policy. So that means if a ride doesn't pass inspection at every level, it's just not open to the public. You might recognize Daniel Hart as the guy who drove you to class or to work this morning. But this Texas native is driven to be something more. Hart moved to Chapel Hill 4 years ago to pursue a career in music with his band called the Physics of Meanings. He came up with the name.
Being about the way that people relate to physical spaces, and the way that places that you live or places that you visit have an effect on how you live your life.
Well, Hart and his band have been to places, from Boston to Texas on tour. So why does this rock star drive the bus?
Touring doesn't pay the bills.
Maybe not, but when these seats are empty, Hart still finds time to put on a show on the bus's microphone. During his spare time, though, Hart uses this mic for singing. He also plays the violin or strums on the guitar. And he makes it all look so easy. But this isn't as easy as it looks. For Hart, though, music just comes naturally.
Music is my life. It's kind of like breathing to me.
So is this bus-driving rock star looking for a route to fame?
I'm not really interested in being famous. It seems like a really big hassle to me.
Hart is perfectly content rocking out in places like Cat's Cradle.
Big enough to make a living, but not so big that we're famous.
Wherever he ends up, Hart isn't about to let life pass him by in the rearview mirror. In Chapel Hill, I'm Janelle Henry, Carolina Week.